Hello, this is Stefano with Stefano's Espresso Care, and one of the recurring questions is I use Pavoni machine. What should I do to make sure that the machine is testing and working properly? You can start visually. This old copper and brass is a 1996, and when they are copper and brass, there are signs that will pretty much show outside on the boiler, on the finish, if issues are or were present. For example, you can see all these discoloration or darkness, I should say, around these spots here. Well, those are signs of leakage. Same here. You can see it through the finish here. So that will be one sign that you can start and be suspicious about what was happening to the machine before it arrived to you. Another thing, of course, is to look inside the boiler. Very simple to do. Look for scale buildup and see how bad it looks inside the boiler. We also have endoscope to look a little deeper, but on a Pavoni machine with an opening on a boiler this simple is not necessary to do so. Then I suppose you can check mechanism, for example the steam valve, and this is all pre-plugging in the machine and testing. You are checking the mechanism or the movement of the group head. This is pretty rough. This is previously loosened just to make the video a little quicker. You can remove the top nut and the locking nut, so you can remove and inspect, for example, the pins and check how worn the pins are. These are not too bad. And the spacer, not too bad neither. What you should inspect also is how rounded or not rounded the holes on the lever are. Some of them you will see that they are noticeably stretched, which they will interfere with the functioning of the group head, the up and down, and you will have a lot of play like so before even the piston move. Then just to focus on the group head. By the way, this is a machine that I already descaled yesterday, so it will look cleaner, as if somebody just descaled it. Getting to the group head is as simple as removing these two bolts. There is an O-ring that many times is so squished through the years that people won't even realize that it exists in there. As you can see, the descaling was not 100% successful, so we need to get descaled again. This white is still scale build-up. This is the older version that doesn't have the insert, so the fishing tube fits directly inside the group head. You are looking for wear and tear on the traveling area here, or the roller, and then you are popping the shower screen out. The shower screen, there are simple ways that you can do that. You can poke the gasket, and if it's not stuck in there for 20 or so years, it will come up easily, kind of like so. Or sometimes you need to have a rubber hammer. You gently beat on it. That will also remove the shower screen. And then you keep pushing the piston out. You are respecting the chamber, the piston. This is a brass piston instead of some years later when they start to do the plastic one for quite a bit of years, and then they decided that no, plastic was a bad idea. It is. They will deform. This point in time, we check as well the side glass. This one again, this is a machine that was already tested, so we know there is no leakage now, but there were signs of leakage. So you want to figure out if you might have or you might not have the side glass that could be cracked enough to add a leakage in the past, or just it wasn't positioned properly, or it can be just as simple as the gasket. This one needs to be loosened in order for the side glass to come out. There is a Teflon O-ring in there. We refer it as P58. Make sure I'm centered on the camera. Yes, I am. Just get some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. So at this point in time, with both of the fitting loose of the side glass, anytime you're lucky enough that you can push this out like so, sometimes instead the glass is so stuck that there is only one option: to break it and then pull it out in pieces. Once you have the side glass off, here you will have a brass washers, one in the top, one at the bottom. They get stuck to the side glass, that would need to be replaced, the side glass gasket. And same here. It happens often that the washer is not being noted and they get thrown away. The good news is that we sell them. So then you remove the steam valve wand and you have to unscrew both. Sometimes, as already shown in different video, that gasket we kind of hold the shaft inside the body. So if you unscrew it all the way and it's still not coming, all you need to do is to pull it. This pin gets pushed out as already demonstrated in another video. Again, sign of leakage here, sign of leakage here. We know fortunately these were old and currently the machine doesn't leak, so that's good news. This two O-ring needs to be removed. That's when you normally punch your finger, but you literally go under one, pick it up, remove it like so. Then you move to the bottom of the machine. This particular one, somebody already partially rewired, but it is in good shape. The only thing is missing is the protection of the safety thermostat, which will be placing. I will be removing the heating element, so we inspect how, in effect, the bottom of the boiler reacted to the descaling. And this is a 1996, not 97, or whatever I say earlier. All the wire look in very decent condition. There is no sign of overburning, overheating. You can always, remove them and check them individually, but like I say, when I feel that they are nice and tight and the wire don't show any sign of overheating, there is no point of replacing them. Also because my amp reading and such devices are not giving me any sign of issues, and that's pretty much about it. That's what you need to inspect to make sure that the machine that you receive is in good shape. Finally, the pressurizing test, once the machine is rebuilt, or before, of course, you'd start to dismantle it, will give you the final proof if the machine works or not. Thank you for watching. Okay, the part 2 of removing the heating element from the previous video. If you are dealing with removing the wire, especially when you have a two different coil heating element, what we refer as 4 prongs, mark the wire. That will be the simple way to proceed, but you have normally the lower wattage coil with the post closer to the center and the higher wattage coil to the two posts farther away. But again, if you are just looking inside the boiler, you can actually just do what I'm about to do. It's a 4mm or 4 size Allen head to remove the 3 screws. If it's still stuck, all you have to do sometimes is just to pry gently between the heating element and the flange, the plastic or the metal one that you have, and it will come out. This is the old gasket, which, well, somebody put Teflon tape for some reason. Interesting. But what you can do is inspecting for scale buildup, which you can see minimal there, not too bad. Another way to be able to see that is to let this heating element dry entirely, and then you have an idea. See how this white disappear once it's wet? Well, it will reappear again once it's dry. Once they're inspected, descale if necessary, which I always prefer to do it while it is on the machine. Replace the O-ring, which we have two options, a normal one P7SS or a thicker one P7SS thick. I will probably choose the second on this case just because somebody already thought that there were issues here, even though I don't feel anything. But one thing also that you want to be noticing is that the boiler edge is rough, dented, pitted. This one is not. No issue that I see, apart of course a little build up with the heating element flange, so that should be going okay with either one of the two. The flange that attach the boiler to the base is already tight. We already determined that earlier, so I will not remove the plastic one. There is no point. One consideration is that on older machine, minimize the dismantling. If something are not necessary to dismantle, do not do so. For example, the side glass fitting that used to leak, now they are not. There is no reason in why they need to be taken apart. The safety valve, even more so. The steam valve body, even more so. If you disturb some of those fittings, they might start to leak after. Even if you put a new copper washer and such, the holes might be stretched slightly enough that soon you disturb it, you will create a non-fixable issue. This should be it for the dismantling or the inspecting. Thank you for watching.